Hi, I'm Jen McCracken. I'm a yoga teacher at Yoga Home, and I am partnering with Heartworks for the 21-day Strong Heart Challenge. I am so excited to be part of this, and this sequence in particular is a 20-minute sequence, so you are welcome. All levels are welcome here. I'm also doing a 10-minute and 30-minute sequence, just depending on time, what works for you and your schedule. And so what we're going to do is we're going to get started in a seated position. So you're welcome here to come to your mat, and you can sit cross-legged if it's comfortable for you. And just letting the hands relax onto the knees. Might be nice to sit cross-legged or even extend the legs out nice and long if that feels better in the low back area. What we're going to do here is we're just going to take some circles in the body. This practice is going to be focused on all areas of the body. So we're going to get into the shoulders, the neck, the legs, and you can even see here we're starting with the hips. The next time you come around, we're going to start to go the other direction. You can also maybe add the shoulders in if that feels comfortable for you. I'm just starting to notice here your breath. And then next circle, slowly come all the way back up to center. And we're going to take one hand and walk it all the way out. And we're going to reach the other hand up and over for a nice side stretch. So we did the hips, and now we're taking care of the side area of the body. So you're welcome to look over the arm, maybe coming up onto the fingertips, just advance the stretch. Maybe the thumb even starts to reach back so we can get into the shoulder a little bit. And just be mindful of your body. If you have any injuries, you're always welcome to take a position that feels better for you. And we're going to start to take this on the other side. So gently coming all the way up, walking the hand over, and reaching the other arm up and over here. Maybe finding the gaze over towards the side of the room, lifting up through the fingertips here. Really nice. And take a big breath in. And take a big breath out. And slowly starting to come all the way back up. From here, we're going to start to walk the hands forward, maybe coming onto the forearms, letting the forehead relax down. Just starting to get into the hips a little bit more. And then inhale, start to walk the hands back towards the shins. We're going to drop one ear towards the shoulder. And now you're welcome to stay here or gently take your hand. This is the hand where the shoulder is, the ear is reaching towards the shoulder. Excuse me for fumbling there. And what you're going to do is, this is just gentle, so if this is too much through the side of the shoulder, you're always welcome to release the hand. Inhale, come back up to center. Other ear towards the shoulder. And then we'll take the hand, if you did on the other side, or even just notice if it feels okay here. And take a big breath in. And exhale, come all the way back up. From here, we're going to start to roll the shoulders down and back. Making nice big movements here. Try not to grip the legs with the hands, but just lightly resting the hands on top of the legs. And then we're going to start to bring the shoulders forward. Really nice. And then reaching the shoulders up by the ears, relax them down and away. And from here, we're going to start to find a tabletop position. So our hands are going to come right underneath the shoulders. The knees are going to be underneath the hips. And from here, I do advise, maybe on this first one, tucking the toes. If you wear shoes a lot, this might be a really nice stretch through the backs of the feet, through the bottoms of the feet here. And spread the palms nice and wide. From here, we're going to take a few rounds of cat-cows. So we're going to drop the belly, bring the shoulder blades together to touch. And on the exhale, start to dome through the back, gazing at the belly button at the navel here. Good. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, start to dome through the back. So noticing the spine start to activate, start to stretch here. One more cow pose, drop the belly, look up. And exhale, start to dome through the back. And very gently starting to make your way back to a flat back. here, we're going to extend out through the left leg, lowering the foot down to the earth. And maybe you just gently press the heel back. And just knowing it doesn't matter what side you do, we're going to be doing both sides here. Maybe you just find one stagnant press back. And then slowly starting to lift the leg up. We're going to cross the leg over, so this is my right side of the body, but you're going to cross it over, gently gazing back over the shoulder towards the toe. This is a really nice lower back stretch. And you also might notice that it's really getting into the side of the body, into the torso. It's a gentle way to stretch the back here. And then from here, we're going to start to lift up through the leg, bringing the leg back to parallel. And from here, extending the opposite arm out nice and long. So I'm going to invite you here to point the thumb up at the sky and flex the toes in towards you. Good. And really start to lift up through the navel so we can protect the low back. The back leg doesn't have to be any higher than the hips. And take a breath in here. And take a breath out. From here, we're going to start to bring elbow into knee. And exhale, extend all the way out long, pressing that heel back. Good. Slowly start to lower the hand down and bring the knee down to the mat. From here, we're just gently going to move the hips a little bit side to side. And then coming back to center, extending the other leg out nice and long and starting to press back through the heel. So you're welcome again here to find those little pulses, those little presses here. You can also find that nice long stagnant stretch. And then slowly starting to lift up through the leg, flexing the toes towards you. We're going to cross the leg over, and we're going to begin to look over the opposite shoulder. And once again, really noticing that side body stretch here. And maybe the gaze starts to come back towards the toes. And take a big breath in. And an exhale out. Slowly start to bring that leg back up. And then here, we're going to extend the opposite arm out nice and long, so the thumb points up to the sky. Really pressing back through the heel here. Take a big breath in. Exhale, drop elbow into knee. Good. Slowly start to reach all the way back out nice and long. And then we're going to bring our hand back to the mat, and the knee is going to begin to follow. From here, we're going to walk the hands up, maybe a handprint, tucking the toes, lifting the hips up to the sky for downward facing dog. And so here, maybe in your first downward facing dog, you start to pedal out through the feet, just bending into the knees. Really nice. Maybe the hips lift up to the sky, and you start to draw the heels close to the mat. And it's okay if those heels do not touch the mat. I love running, and there's a good chance in my life that my heels never touch because of those tight hamstrings. And I am okay with that. And just take a breath in and take a breath out. Good. From here, we're going to lift the right leg up to the sky. And we're going to step the right foot all the way through towards the right thumb, gently lowering the left knee down to the mat. From here, you're going to reach your arms all the way up to the sky. I'm going to invite you here to either roll the shoulders down and away, or maybe even bring the arms to goalpost arms so the elbows come out to either side. I'll even turn a little bit so you can kind of see how my arms are here. Good. You're going to start to find the gaze ahead and let the spine get nice and long. Good. And the toes in the back can be tucked, a little more stability or support. You can also untuck the toes and press into the tops of the feet. Good. Take a big inhale in. And on the exhale, we're going to bring the hands down, and we're going to start to straighten through the right leg. And so a few options here. You're always welcome to bring the hands to the hips. Maybe the toes start to point up towards the sky. You can also bring your hands to your thigh, to the hamstring area, or maybe even the calf and the shins. Or you can bring your fingertips to the floor, just letting the heart lift up. And the toes can flex towards you, or maybe you even press the foot down so the toes press into the earth, so that here you get a nice stretch in the top of the foot. Sometimes that feels so nice. It's like an area we don't really get to stretch so much, that ankle area. Very gently start to bend back into the right leg. From here, we're going to tuck the left toes, lift the left knee, and we're going to sit back into downward facing dog. Taking a breath in and taking a breath out. From here, the left leg's going to lift, and you'll step the left foot all the way through towards the left thumb, gently lowering the right knee down to the mat. Really nice. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up to the sky. And again, you're welcome to kind of tap in here. Maybe the elbows come out to either side. I do love this because it kind of releases the tension in the shoulders. And man, do we have so much tension in our shoulders nowadays with everything that we do in our life. And so you're welcome to stay here and tuck the toes behind you. And just taking a deep breath in and a breath out. From here, gently frame out the left foot and begin to straighten through the leg here, finding your variation of this stretch. And you know, you're always welcome to flex and maybe bring the toes down into whatever kind of stretch you need here. Awesome. And take one more inhale in. Exhale, begin to bend back into the leg. From here, we're going to tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and take a big step forward to the top of the mat. And here at the top of the mat, you're going to start to roll up nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time. Good. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. And so what I'm doing is I'm just taking my index fingers and interlacing the rest of the fingers, pointing my index fingers up to the sky, and gently taking a lean to one side. And rooting down with the opposite foot as I start to bring the elbows back. Good, take a big breath in. Exhale, start to come back to center. Good, we're going to take that lean to the other side, once again getting through that side body. Nice, coming all the way back to center here. Inhale. Exhale, take a nice forward fold, releasing all the way down. And maybe here you start to bring your feet hip width apart. And you can take opposite elbows and just let the crown of the head release down. So maybe that means taking like a big bend into the knees here as you start to find this forward fold. Good, big breath in. Exhale, release the hands down. Nice. From here, we're going to step back with the left leg, and we're going to bring the left foot parallel to the back edge of the mat. On the next breath in, we're going to windmill the arms all the way up into warrior two pose. And here, we're going to start to reach the fingertips in opposite directions, and we're going to root down into the outer edge of the foot. Flip that front palm up to the sky, reach back for radiant warrior. And taking a deep breath in, continuing to bend into that front knee. Good. On the exhale, we're going to bring the forearm onto the thigh as the other arm reaches up and over. Taking a nice stretch. And take a breath in here. And take a breath out. Inhale, slowly start to roll all the way back up. We're going to straighten through the front leg, reaching the fingertips forward. Find triangle pose. So here, pressing the hand into the leg as you start to open up. You can also find that lift here. Our goal is to stack the shoulders over the hips. So that means even placing your hand on the thigh and reaching the arm up. That might be better suited for you. And take a breath in. And exhale, start to roll all the way up. Good. From here, we're going to windmill the hands down. Come nice and high onto the ball of the back foot. And set both feet up to the top of the mat. From here, we're going to inhale to a flat back, so bringing the hands to the shins, the thighs, or the hips. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the sky, big breath in. And on the exhale, draw the hands to heart center. Good. From here, we're going to reach the arms up to the sky. And exhale, fold down. From here, the opposite leg is going to step back. So right leg steps back. And we're going to root into the outer edge of that right foot. On the next breath in, windmill the arms up for warrior two. Good. Here, reaching into opposite fingertips, finding the strength in the front leg. And from here, the gaze is going to be over the fingertips. From here, flip that front palm up to the sky. Reach back for Radiant Warrior, bending nice and deeply into the knee. Good. And that back hand is nice and light. On your next exhale, we're going to place the forearm onto the thigh and reach both arms all the way up. So you can reach up to the sky or maybe frame out the ear with the bicep. Awesome. And just start to find your strength here. Find your breath. On the next inhale, slowly start to rise all the way back up. We're going to straighten through the front leg. Reach the fingertips forward. Oh, if you get a little crack like I did, might feel nice. And find triangle pose. And so you're welcome to bring the hand on the outside of the shin, the thigh. If you're able to stack the shoulders, you can obviously place the fingertips onto the mat. But if you feel that lean forward, come up a little bit more. Good, big breath in. Exhale, slowly start to rise all the way back up. And from here, we're going to windmill the hands down. And we're going to take a step back into a plank pose, bringing the hands onto the mat, bending the elbows, lower all the way to the earth, untucking the toes behind you. From here, we're going to bring our hands on either side of the mat, and we're going to start to lift up through the shoulders. So my thumbs are facing out here, and my fingertips are touching the earth. So the shoulders are going to start to lift. We're going to see the chest rise up, and then maybe the feet start to lift, and the arms for locust pose. And take a big breath in. Now on the exhale, lower all the way down. Let one side of the face come to the earth. From here, we're going to bring our hands on either side of the rib cage and press back into child's pose. So bringing the big toes together to touch and letting the fingertips reach forward. Working the seat towards the heel. And you're welcome to relax the forehead onto the mat. If this is kind of aggravating, if it feels bad for the hips, you can bring the knees closer together. I like this one because it kind of relaxes into the low back if you're experiencing any low back pain. And just take a breath in and a breath out. From here, we're slowly going to start to make our way forward. And we're going to find ourselves onto our back. Good. And here onto the back, we're going to keep the feet flat. Walk the heels in so we can touch the heels with our fingertips. And let the head come to the earth. From here, we're going to press down into the feet and start to lift the hips up for bridge pose. Now you can take either side of your mat, maybe gently shimmying your shoulder blades in. You can also interlace the hands behind the back. And your gaze is still up at the sky. And take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, begin to lower all the way down. Good. From here, we're going to start to draw the knees into our chest, giving ourselves a little hug in, maybe a little rock. And taking the insoles of the feet. Perhaps you find happy baby pose. Perhaps a little gentle rock side to side. And then from here, you can extend the legs all the way up to the sky. Maybe you roll out the feet, pointing and flexing the foot. All directions. Maybe the arms reach up and you start to roll out through the wrists here. And then slowly starting to bring the knees back down. We're going to extend the right leg out nice and long. And we're going to extend the left leg out nice and long. And the palms are going to come to either side. And so this is corpse pose, Shavasana, final rest. And here, you're welcome to stay here for as long as your body needs. And so staying here or Just thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed practice.